Hello there, and welcome to another episode of the In Between Podcast. Let's go ahead and get things started. Hello there, and thank you for joining us for another episode of the In Between Podcast with your host, as always, Kyle McLemore. Thank you so much for tuning in, and while it's still early, why don't you do me a huge favor and just scooch that mouse over an inch or two and slap that subscribe button. Go ahead and smack it with the elbow and subscribe. It's definitely appreciated, and it helps the pod stay alive. Not to mention all of our other quality entertainment. Thank you so much. If you want to throw a like in there too, hey, that'd be pretty cool. Much appreciated. Thank you so much for stopping by. How have you guys been? Because I've been pretty good. I don't know if you can tell, but it's a little bit toasty here in the studio, as I'm sure you can tell from my ever-increasing shininess of my giant forehead. So I was trying to debate on, do I want to go back later and chop up the episode with edits, so it's like, I'll cut out all the parts where I'm makeup, and the dude runs in here with the powder and like powders up my shiny-ass Vegeta forehead. I decided to decline that because I know that when you're tuning into the In Between Podcast, you come here for the realness. You come here for the real life stuff, the real shininess of the forehead. So I'm giving it to you raw, just how you like it. Definitely appreciate you stopping by. What's new with you? What's new with me, you say? Well, I've been watching, I don't know if you guys know, but they uploaded the latest season of Alone up to Netflix, which your boy's a huge fan of. Alone is the shit. It's basically Survivor Man, but except there's like 30 Survivor men and women on this remote part of Alaska. If you haven't seen Survivor Man, it's also the shit. Survivor Man was the shiznit. There was basically two different shows you could watch, Survivor Man or Bear Grylls. And if you're watching Bear Grylls, you're watching for the production, right? You're watching Bear Grylls for like a show that just happens to be survival genre, as opposed to Survivor Man, which was like just a dude trying not to die all by himself. Bear Grylls had like a whole crew. He's got like the camera crew, plus like the production crew, plus like the director, and plus like they got like everything planned out. Like, right, today's the day where we fucking climb up the ridge, and then we'll have the rattlesnake encounter at the top, and then we'll end the day with you in your sleeping bag and just like be all shivery and like, it's gonna be a long night. I don't know if I'm gonna make it till morning. Tune in after the commercial. Cut! Alright, people, wrap it up. Let's get in the chopper and head back to the Hilton. We got a bright and early start tomorrow. Let's get rested up. As opposed to Survivor Man, who was just like, give me a backpack full of GoPros, and hopefully I'll see you next week. And he just marches out into the wilderness and shows you how he doesn't die. So it's basically like Survivor Man. You get a bunch of people, toss them over to Alaska, and then tell them like, hey, all right, so basically, here's the game. You don't die, and whoever lasts the longest, you win. And that's it. Like, all right, drop them off at the island, and they're just like, all right, see ya. Don't call us ever. Don't call us unless you're literally about to die or you're quitting. Those are the only two reasons you're ever going to contact anyone again, is either you're about to die or you want to quit. So it's like, good luck to you. It's great though. I love watching it because I love trying to pick out who I think is going to go the furthest. And it's really cool with Alone too, because it is just like a curveball out of nowhere that like nobody sees coming. The show starts out with like 30, and like I'm going through, and I'm like, oh yeah, fucking Wilderness Johnson over here, like, fuck yeah, this guy's like a legit lumberjack, and he's like, I basically just live in the wilderness even in my free time, and I'm just like, fuck yeah, this guy's gonna be out here. They're gonna have to pull this guy out of Alaska. And then like day 2, he's just walking along and just like, took like a weird step and kind of rolled my ankle. Cut to like the next day, he's like, I can't walk, and my ankle is like this big now, like, so I guess I'm out. And it's like, oh shit, didn't see that coming. Or there's other fun stuff too, where it's like some dude catches like a some dude catches like a possum or something, or like a raccoon, or he catches some kind of like medium-sized vermin or whatever, and he's like cleaning it and like washing all the intestines and shit, and like you gotta make sure you clean everything, and like because like if you don't clean it and you eat it, you're gonna get all fucked up and like poison and like destroy yourself. But luckily this guy knows what he's doing, and he's like going through and he's like talking all that shit like, yeah, if somebody else found this fucking raccoon, they'd be fucking suffering, but thank God I'm the shit and I know how to do all this stuff. Cut to the next morning, he's like, oh God, oh, I'm dying on the inside, I didn't clean it well enough, why didn't I clean it more? So that's fun. It's also funny too, because it's like I kind of catch myself like watching it and like really being a spectator in the most like Roman spectator, like as a watching a gladiator kind of way. Like I'm sitting there and this guy's like, he's like, yeah, I got like an okay food supply and like a little bit of a shelter, but I've been here like 2 weeks and goddamn, I'm starting to miss my family, and I'm out here all by myself, and I don't want to quit, but it's a lot harder than I thought being away from my family. Meanwhile, I'm sitting on my couch, like stuffing a Jack in the Box taco in my face, just like, hey, stop being a bitch, bro. Hey, keep eating that fucking raw salmon and shut up. In my nice Southern California 70-degree temperature weather, while this guy is like constantly in negative degrees or whatever. Like I think that's the biggest part about why I'd be out of that show instantly. I mean, other than obviously your boy's kind of lanky, right? Like obviously not a lot of meat on these bones, and that's one common theme amongst all the contestants is like within the first like couple days they are just dumping calories like it's insane. They are just dropping lbs like water, dude, like it's nothing, because basically nobody eats for like the first couple days, and if you do eat, it's like a couple berries or some shit. Meanwhile, everyone's like working on their shelter, so they're just like their caloric intake is like nothing, while they're just like dumping all these calories working on all their shelter and like hunting and stuff. So everybody's dropping like 15 pounds in a week. So I'm pretty sure I would just like evaporate if I went onto the island. I would just like turn into the end of Endgame, where I would just fucking Mr. Stark just like dust away. But yeah, if the starvation didn't get me, it'd be the cold instantly. Like anytime the temperature drops like below like 60, I'm like, I'm good, I'm done. And like as soon as that sun goes down, Kyle made the call. He was done with the cold temperature. And like, so why'd you tap? I don't know, I'm just kind of chilly. I didn't have an extra jacket. And then, of course, the best part is not only are they being taken to, like, the most remote parts of Alaska, it also happens to be like, hey, we're taking you over to, like, Grizzly Mouth Valley or some shit. Like, I forget what it's called. But it's literally like the part of Alaska that they're taken to is, like, Grizzly Gulch or, like, Bear Fury Valley or something like some, like, crazy name where it's like, oh, great. So not only do I have to, like, basically survive, but I'm surrounded by bears while I'm alone. Cool. And it's like, yeah, it's awesome that it's named Grizzly whatever Ridge. Hey, Tom, you're up next. We got your camp set up here at Mountain Lion Valley. That's right, you're going to be all nice and cozy. Oh, and Diana, we'll have you down here at Hungry Wolves Gulch down there. No problems. Cool. Oh, Daniel, don't worry about you. We've got you set up right over here at Angry Moose Valley. That's right, Angry Moose Valley. Notoriously named for the angry moose that inhabit it. Oh, Diana, that's right, you'll be over here at Johnson Valley. Johnson Valley. Nothing terrifying about that, other than it was named after its founder, who was torn apart by wolves and bears about 3 hours after he was discovering the land. But yeah, having a lot of fun watching Alone. Highly recommend if you're into any kind of survival stuff. Thank you so much for tuning in for another episode. We'll go ahead and call it right about there. If you haven't already, please do us a favor and slap that subscribe button. Go ahead and throw a like. We definitely appreciate it, and it helps us stay alive here. Thank you again for tuning in. I am your host, as always, Kyle Macklin.